Hey, what's up guys? Blake here at Boost Portfolio. In today's video, we're going to talk about this rapid pump in Bitcoin. Is it something you can trust? Also, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you some of my favorite altcoin trade setups. Okay, so without further ado, none of this is financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. Okay, so if you guys are in Telegram, I sent a message in our Telegram group before this happened, all right? And what I sent out was a chart depicting this, and this is the log scale of Bitcoin pulled up on a 4-hour time frame. And I posted the picture right as price was coming to this downtrend line. And I posted that 2 arrows, we're either going to see a nice breakout or we're going to get rejected back down to potentially these lows around the 6,000 level. So we were waiting for something to happen, and we got the liquidation of all of the shorts that we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks. So what actually happened here is if we go to see the short positions, and if you guys follow, you know we've been talking about the short positions stacking up on the exchanges. And typically when we have these over extreme levels of lots of short selling, I mentioned that if I was a whale and I had the money to liquidate those order books and make all of the shorts cover, I would do that because it's essentially easy money for people with deep pockets. So what am I talking about here? If you don't know what a short position is, basically all it is you're betting against the price of whatever asset that you're trading. So in this case, we have Bitcoin pulled up. So you can see just yesterday, we had all-time highs of the number of people betting against the price of Bitcoin. Well, when we have these extreme levels, it invites rogue whales who have lots of money to take advantage of all of these short sellers and essentially force them to sell by buying up all of their short positions and making them cover their short position, further driving the price higher of Bitcoin. So you guys can see that's exactly what happened. If we go over to see Bitcoin, we just had a huge pump right here, and you can see lots of volume come in. We had the largest 1-hour volume, get this, the largest 1-hour volume candle of Bitcoin in its history of its existence. That's kind of hard to comprehend when you really think about it, but this is this 1-hour candle where you can see we kind of bumped right up against this downtrend line right here. We had a fake out. Oh, we're going to dump. And then right as that fake out happened, that's when the whale stepped in and bought every single available short position, almost every short position, but a lot of shorts were liquidated, forcing them to cover, and we're seeing some price stabilize right around this 7,700 level. Now, by no means do I think this is natural market factors at play here. I definitely think that this was probably somebody with very deep pockets, probably a centralized agency person, somebody who can plan and buy up all of these short positions. It's either collusion or some market manipulation. So is this really something that you can trust for the long term? In my opinion, not yet. So what am I doing? I'm waiting. I'm going to let this play out for the day and kind of see if we gain any more traction. Now, these kind of pumps can start, it's kind of like a fire you're trying to get started. It can start a little fire. And if people start to just look at this and see this volume, we've broken above this downtrend, it can invite more buyers into the market, give them more confidence, and potentially make this run even further. Now, if we go to the daily time frame and we're on the log scale and we make a trend line from this top here, just kind of to this high, you can see we still have, if we're paying attention to the macro downtrend on the log scale, that is, you can see we still have some more room to run, potentially up to this 8,800, 9,000 level. That's going to be the real test of 8,800, 9,000 area, and we see more volume come in just like we did today. That is when people will start to pile on, the bots will start to pile on the buy orders and potentially send this back to all-time highs. Now that's what everybody's hoping for. Is this something you can trust? Not yet, like I said, okay? Now if we take it off the non-log scale and we draw this trend line, you can see we're just breaking above the daily downtrend line from a macro perspective. And we'll get rid of this. This is the shorter term downtrend line. Now this is on the daily chart, non-log scale. This is just traditional charting, how most chartists would look at this pattern. just a simple downtrend. You can see we're breaking above the downtrend with some decent volume. So that's a good sign. So we do have a signal. It's not a very strong confirmed signal. By no means am I feeling 100% confident to go ahead and put all my available capital at risk here. But as you guys know, I do have about 25% of my capital at risk. So there is participation in this, but by no means am I 100% confident in this move. If we see some higher prices and some confirmation with some volume, then I'll go ahead and I'll feel a little more confident about this move. But until then, I am waiting to see how this day plays out. Okay, so that's kind of my 2 cents on Bitcoin. That's kind of the reasoning, in my opinion, why we've seen this pump. And before we go, I want to show you guys a couple of my favorite trade setups. Now, Cardano to Bitcoin is one of my favorite trade setups. Now, this is a do your own research on Cardano, okay? Basically, they have a lot of very, very smart people, academic researchers that built this. They still don't have a working product yet, not that I know of, but they're essentially calling themselves a third generation token, coin, blockchain solution, whatever you want to call it. So what's going on here? Well, if we pull up some Donchian channels and some of my favorite trend following technical indicators, along with just following price, that's the best indicator. Price and volume, in my opinion, are the best indicators that you can follow. If you learn how to read price and volume, you'll be fine. But to help you out and to identify trends, I like to use the Donchian channel. Donchian channel, you can see this Donchian channel kept getting squeezed and squeezed. And when we have these kind of compression of price, that's when we see explosive movements either up or down. So this is Cardano to Bitcoin. So if I was feeling confident about Bitcoin, this is my process and thought process on maximum returns, trying to go for the best yield. Okay, speculators are going to always try to go for yield. So you're going to see some of these altcoins potentially outperform, your big guys like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is Cardano against Bitcoin, and Cardano is at the moment outperforming Bitcoin. Well, we know how well Bitcoin's been doing, and Cardano is outperforming Bitcoin with a ton of buy volume coming in. So this is a very phenomenal setup, in my opinion. It's a great technical setup. I do have a position in Cardano, and it's tough and it's tempting not to buy more today. Okay, so that's Cardano. VeChain is also one of my other favorites. I like VeChain for a host of reasons. It's a really long-term hold for me as far as their technology. If we can start to break above this upper Donchian channel, call it 44,000 Satoshis, then I do think we see some more upside on VeChain. Now, VeChain's been doing very well also. And Verge, you guys know we've been in Verge for a while now, and Verge is still trading phenomenally. Okay, so Verge is doing really, really well. We're still holding half of our position. We have secured half of the profit from the Verge trade, rolled that profit into VeChain. So we basically accumulated VeChain for absolutely nothing. That's the house's money. That's money we pulled out of the market, invested into another coin that we like. And also, how could I forget Ethereum? That's what we have our biggest holding in. Ethereum looks great in my opinion. So we're breaking. Let's put this back on log scale so you guys can kind of see what I was charting here. So the most recent downtrend we've broken on Ethereum. You guys know that we were trying to buy this dip. Let me just get rid of some of this stuff, make it a little cleaner. So we've talked about this 400, 408, 410 level on Ethereum. This has been a level that has acted as resistance back here. So this was the previous all-time high. So this was a high that we put in, acted as resistance here. Then we finally broke through it, came back, tested as support. So that was a very positive signal that this price was a price that investors liked. Then we had this phenomenal exponential rally. We've pretty much sold off everything. So anybody who got in here is still, they've had to sit through all of this rise and fall. Okay, so major emotional swings. This has been a price of interest, this 410 level. You guys know we purchased some Ethereum at the 410. We've added, and it looks like I'm going to add more. It's running even further. So I do like Ethereum a lot. That is my biggest holding, and I don't hold any Bitcoin right now. So that is what I wanted to cover today, guys. This video is going a little long. Didn't want to make it too long. Make sure you get in Telegram. That's where you get the most value. I give you all my trade picks. I'm going to put the link below. Also follow on Instagram. And make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Keeps you up to date with all of our latest content. All right, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good day.